Hey, I just thought I'd talk to you again about the Junee Licorice and Chocolate Factory and maybe take you through a bit of the information about the company, which maybe doesn't always links directly up to the syllabus dot points, but nonetheless is still interesting and helps build the story of the brand and the business. So I wanted to show you that some of this information through some of their packaging as it's evolved over the years. So what you've got here in full view at the moment is what's sort of their more traditional packaging that they started off with. We can see that it's got the old Green Groves logo, and it indicates that the Green Groves company's been started since 1962. And, from that point, they were, this is the organic wheat farm at Ardlethan, where they eventually moved in the 1990s into the flour mill at Junee. In this case, it's a more modern product because it is the licorice coated in chocolate. And it does tell us that, on the label, if I'm just making my way through this, that it is an organic certified product, and it's Australian made, and they, are advertising and marketing themselves on Facebook. What's interesting to note is that this is a cardboard box. Obviously, the cardboard's going to be recyclable, but this sticker that we see shows us that they originally were outsourcing a bit of their production line, where stickers were being made off site, and then people were employed to put the labels on, and they've since streamlined that whole process and it's become a bit more vertically integrated. The other thing that I just wanted to point out for you is that the ingredients pretty much stay similar the whole time because they are such high quality chocolates from Belgium, and the organic products, particularly from the Green Groves farm, that it doesn't mean that they haven't had to change their product line since they started operating. So the next part of the story that I wanted to show you no longer really exists as part of the business. So this is an example of the organics macro line. So at one point in time, the Junee factory had been approached by Woolworths, and Woolworths uses companies to make their store brand organic lines for them. So if you ever go down the organics aisle in Woolworths and you see the macro varieties of organic foods, these are foods which Woolworths sells under their own label, but they're actually made by private businesses. So in this case, we have milk chocolate coated almonds, which the Junee factory was in a relationship with Woolworths to continue to produce. They since ended that relationship. I believe that Woolworths were demanding a lot of the Junee factory that they just couldn't compete with. But you can see that it's a totally different packaging, and it doesn't really make too much of a reference to Junee, other than the fact that it is confirming similarly that it is organically certified. The Junee factory then started to branch out and use their own branding with the Junee name. And we can see this is a box that was used for a bit of a niche market trial in some higher order, some locations in Sydney, like the North Shore of Sydney, where people might want to spend a little bit more money for a high quality product. So they went with the better name brand, so Junee rather than Green Groves Organics, which most people aren't familiar with, but they're probably more familiar with Junee. And you can see that it's got this nice classy design to it. I'll just move that up there. The next stage is they've moved to this back to the Green Groves brand, because that is their official business name. But you can see that they've foregone the stickers, and now that the information is directly printed onto the box. So this means that the entire packaging is now recyclable, and it doesn't require an extra step in the process, so they streamlined their production line. It now talks about not only organic certification, but also has the hand-in-hand fair trade symbol. You can see that all the different elements of the design and packaging are taken up, really to demonstrate all the information about the business. So we start to get a history of the business on here, as well as the Junee logo starting to be utilised even more. Similarly, When they've got special editions, they're now even foregoing the Green Groves labelling and just labelling themselves Junee. So I expect to see more of this packaging in the future, but this is definitely for a limited edition product. In this case, because it was limited edition, they are using stickers again. But that's, once it's become mainstream, they'll start to use the printed boxes again. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about how the business has changed over time. We can actually see that reflected in their packaging. So we've got, old school packaging with the old branding, the connection with Woolworths, branching out with their own labelled products, Junee products, in areas where people might spend a little bit more money. Then we start to get the advertising of the fair trade as well as the fully recyclable product, and then again using that same sort of full recyclable product but more branding with a more popular name. Thanks.